guys, it's Jen from Jen's Extraordinary Life, and today we are going to do something super fun and a little bit different. Today I'm participating in a Cozy Casserole Collab. Say that 3 times fast. Cozy Casserole Collab, hosted by Sammy over at Managing the Maze. If you haven't checked her out, go do so. I'm going to put her link to her channel down in my description, so you're going to want to go check that out. I'm also going to put the link to the playlist in there as well, so you can go look at all of the other people in this collab who are participating in the Cozy Casserole Collab. So get ready. It's January. It's still a little chilly outside in some places, and there's nothing like a cozy casserole for you. But we're going to do today my favorite thing, which if you know me, you know I like all things chicken wings and all things taco, right? Because who doesn't love a good taco? So we're going to make a taco casserole today. Super easy to do. You probably have all of this stuff in your fridge already. I did, and some things that I'm going to suggest that you use, I may have been a little low on, so we're going to improvise. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But the first thing that we're going to do is ground some beef for the taco meat. So for that, you're going to need a pound of ground beef. You're going to need a baking dish. I'm going to use an 8x8 tonight because I'm making this a small casserole. You could do this in a 9x13. It would just be thinner layers. But we're going to do it in an 8x8 tonight. So you need a pound of ground beef, some onions, and I'm taking the easy way out, and I pulled these out of my freezer because I did not have an onion to chop tonight. So we're going to put some onions in there, and then water and taco seasoning. So that's what you're going to need first. We're going to cook that meat up, and then we'll get back to all the rest of the things. So let's come over to the stove and get that meat cooking. Oh, let's preheat the oven first. 350. We want to do that. All right, so the oven's preheated. Now let's get to cooking. All right, I'm going to heat up my skillet here, and then I'm just going to take my ground beef and put it in my skillet. To that, I'm going to add some of these onions. Say about half a cup of onions we'll add to this. And then I'm going to put the rest of these back in the freezer when we're finished. Using my favorite kitchen tool here, my masher. Use this for your meat, or it's great for potatoes or whatever. We're going to let this meat cook up. We'll let this meat cook up, and then we'll add the taco seasoning and everything to it. Okay, that's looking nice and browned up, and I used 93.7 ground beef on this, so there's very little fat. What there is quite a bit of moisture from those onions. So ordinarily I would add 3/4 of a cup of water to this at this point with the taco seasoning, but I think I'm just going to put it in about half a cup. Because there's so much water in there from those onions, those frozen onions that I had. And then I'm just going to add the water and the taco seasoning. And I'm going to let that cook down until most of that water is cooked off. So once I get that all mixed in, I've got my heat on high right now, but I'm about to reduce it to medium high while this cooks up. Oven's preheated, so that step is done. All right, so I'm gonna put this on about medium high, let that be cooking, and then let's go take a look at the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so that's finishing cooking up over there. I've turned that down to medium high, and now we're going to work on our casserole. I'm going to spray the bottom of this just because y'all know I don't like anything to stick. You could probably leave that step out, but we're not gonna. You're gonna need a can of refried beans, any variety, whatever you want. These happen to be Taco Bell refried beans, but I've used all kind of flavors. This is just what I had in the pantry. So that's what we're gonna do. This is a great Taco Tuesday night deal, or just really any night. So we're gonna open these refried beans. That'll be our first layer on here. And then I'm gonna take these and I'm just going to spread them in the bottom of my baking dish in a nice layer. This is something that's great to make in, like if you have those aluminum foil pans, those disposable, you've seen me use those a lot for freezer meals, and you could totally do this as a freezer meal. You could make a couple of these up and have them on hand or whatever. But this is great to make in those if you're taking it somewhere or you're giving this to somebody. It's great for those aluminum pans. All right, so there's that. Then the next thing you're going to spread is sour cream. Now, I have had this setting out while I was prepping everything, and this is almost a full container of sour cream. We're not going to use the whole thing. I'm going to probably use about half of this. Now, I will say, the reason I've let it set out is it tends to curdle less when the warm meat hits it, if you have it kind of setting out at room temperature. And also, I would recommend using the full fat sour cream for this. I have used light sour cream before, but it tends to curdle a little bit. Which isn't a big deal, but anyway, that's just what we do in my make-believe cooking show. But you know, in your kitchen, you can do whatever you want to do. All right, so we've spread that on there, and then let me check out this meat, see how it's looking. Oh, it's perfect. Okay. All right. So this meat is perfectly cooked right now. I'm actually going to let this sit and cool just a little bit before I add it as the next layer. But I will go ahead and tell you what else you're going to need while we're waiting for that to cool just a little bit. We're going to put the beef on there, and then we're going to top, and that beef has the onions in it, remember. Then we're going to top that with cheese. You can shred your own, or I'm being lazy tonight and I am using pre-shredded cheese. I'm probably going to use this whole bag, which is just an 8-ounce bag, because I like a lot of cheese. But you do you. And then that's it for what you're going to put in the oven and bake. And then for toppings, what you're going to do is I have got some shredded lettuce, already pre-shredded lettuce. Now you could shred your own lettuce if you so desire, but again, I had this already shredded lettuce for taco night anyway, so that's what we're going to use. I have also gotten some cherry tomatoes. I'm going to dice those up, and people can use those as a garnish. I'm going to set out some salsa, another great garnish for that. Of course, we'll set out the rest of the sour cream as a garnish. And here's a couple of things that we love on taco night that I was going to show you. These tortilla strips are fantastic. I don't have enough of these to top the whole thing with it, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do. But I am going to set these out as a garnish tonight. And then my husband loves this taco sauce. And then I also have, in case anyone wants, this avocado cilantro sauce. And I am loving this cilantro lime sour cream. I got this, I believe, at Publix. I'll check and make sure, and I'll put it in the video, but I believe this is from Publix. And it's so yummy, y'all. It's not real spicy or anything. You know, I don't like a lot of spicy stuff, but it's gluten-free, if that matters to you, and really yummy. But after we get everything layered and we bake it and everything else, then we're going to make a crunchy layer. And that crunchy layer could be these tortilla strips if you have enough or you want those. But what I'm going to do tonight is I've got about half a bag left of just these tortilla chips. And these are one of my favorites. These are not the kettle chips. These are the regular ones. These are on the border dip-in chips. And I'm going to take those and put some in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to beat them up with my rolling pin, and we're going to make a crunchy layer for the top of this. So, all right. So I think this meat has cooled enough for what we're about to do with it. So I'm going to take a layer of this ground beef. Now, obviously, it's not cooled down all the way. I'm sure you can probably see the steam. I just didn't want it piping hot off the stove top, going on top of this sour cream, because then that tends to make it want to curdle. All right, so I'm going to put my meat layer there. Already loving this. All right, and then the best layer is the cheese layer. Now, can this be a make-ahead meal? Absolutely. I'm going to pop this in the oven for about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, however long it takes for this cheese to melt and heat everything up. It's usually about 15 minutes on 350, but if I made this ahead and put it in my refrigerator to cook later, I would need to cook it a little bit longer because it would be cold. So you'd probably have to cook it about 25 or 30 minutes. Also, remember, I'm doing this on an 8x8. And so it's going to take longer to cook all of those layers than it would if I did it in a 9x13. So keep that in mind. We're going to check it at 15 minutes and see what it looks like. But let's pop it in the oven. We've already got it preheated. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, starting now. Okay, she didn't talk back to me this time. Here's another thing that I was going to say. I love this sour cream. I don't know how many of y'all use this. I love the sour cream in the squeeze containers for things like Taco Tuesday night or Taco Friday night in this case. I mean, couldn't any night be a taco night? I feel like it could. But this squeeze sour cream is great for this, so I'm going to set this out tonight. And then let me move this out of the way, and then we're going to pound up our tortillas. All right. While that's baking, you can be getting your tortillas ready. Let me just wipe this off real quick. Just had a little bit of taco meat on it. I'm so excited to see what everybody else does for this collab. I love, 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 love a good casserole. If you've been with my channel very long, you've probably seen quite a few casseroles, so you know that that is one of my go-to things. So I can't wait to see what everybody else does because I'm dying to try some new casseroles. And you know, it's always great to take a casserole to a potluck. I don't know why. Why is that? But it is. And so I got one coming up in a couple of weeks. So maybe I'll find something from this collab and we'll go make it along with them. That'd be fun, huh? Hey, you know what I would love? I would love if you would comment your favorite casserole. And if you want to include the recipe, that's a bonus. Or your favorite casserole from the collab. That'd be another nice thing. All right, so I just put some of these chips in a Ziploc bag. And then you can just crunch them up with your hands. Or if you want to take a rolling pin, we're not, you know, they don't have to be too tiny, but we do want to crunch it up. Because I want that crunchy layer, like, you know, like a taco. You could totally take taco shells and do that. You could use Doritos. I almost used Fritos tonight. I actually pulled the Fritos out of the pantry and said we were going to do Fritos with it. And then I remembered that I was going to use those Fritos for chili. And so I said, no, let's wait. And I had this bag of tortillas from the other day, so that's what we're going to use. And that's what I love about tacos is, you know, you can make them different every single time. And you can do that with your casserole too. You're basically just throwing, if you can throw all the things together in a casserole dish and bake it in the oven, it's a casserole, y'all. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to let that cook for a little bit and then we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like once it's all cooked and on my plate and about to go in my belly. So we'll see you back in just a minute. Okay, that timer went off and those have been in there for about 15 minutes. I'm going to pull them out. The cheese is all melted. I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Leave your oven on. We're going to take our Crunchies. Remember, we just crunched these up. These are just crunched up tortilla chips. You could use taco shells. You could use the salad topper tortilla strips, whatever you want to use. And I'm just going to take this for a crunchy layer. I'm going to spread it over the top of this casserole. Whoops, one tried to jump out. And then we're going to put it back in just for a few minutes and let those brown up a little bit and get crispy. So let's let that happen and I'll be right back. All right, it's been back in there for about 3 minutes. I've just warmed those chips up. We're going to pull it out, let it cool for just a few minutes, and then I'm going to plate it up and show you how delicious it is. We'll be right back. Okay. I've let it sit just for a couple of minutes, and now let's see. I'm going to show you how yummy delicious this looks. I cannot wait. Could totally let this sit a little bit longer, but when it comes to taco stuff, I just cannot wait. So I'm just going to pile it up on my plate. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? All right. Now I am going to top mine with some shredded lettuce, a few tomatoes, if you liked olives, that'd be great to put on here. A lot of times I will cut up some avocado and put it on top. It's super yummy, or some cilantro, but I was out of both, sadly. I'm actually going to put some of this Mexican 4 cheese because even though there's cheese all in this, I mean, can you really have too much cheese? I think not. I'm going to put a few of these strips on there just for a little color. How cute. And a dollop of sour cream, because why not? All right, so let's taste it. I'm gonna get a little bit of everything in this bite. I want to get the refried beans, I want to get the cheese, I want to get the meat, sour cream, lettuce, all of it. Okay. Mmm. Mmm. Okay. Y'all know I'm in heaven. Let's have another bite real quick and then we'll talk. I probably could eat this whole casserole myself if I could fit it in my belly. So good. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I would love for you to like my video, comment, share. Tell us what you liked about the video. Tell us your favorite part about tacos. Tell us your favorite thing about casseroles. We just want to hear from you. We love engaging with our subscribers. And remember to go to Manage in the Maze and check out Sammy's page. And also check out the playlist for Cozy Casseroles. It's a Cozy Casserole collab. And I really encourage you to go through and check out all of the others who are involved in this collab and see what kind of casseroles they have. And I'd love for you to comment below and let me know which ones you liked so I can make sure that I don't miss any of them. And until next time, I hope you have an extraordinary life, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.